We usually call this day as Pentecost Sunday. And it literally means 50 days. So in the Christian calendar, this is the 50th day after Easter Sunday. But we do not just count 50 days after Easter Sunday. We remember this day as the day where the Holy Spirit descended upon the apostles as described in our first reading. And for us Catholics, we consider this day as the birthday of the Catholic Church. But besides these things, the Holy Spirit is an active agent in our faith life. Madalas kasi ang focus natin si Jesus. And there is nothing wrong with that. But we must also remember that in every aspect of our Christian life, the Holy Spirit strengthens us through different gifts that He gives us, especially through the sacraments that we receive. And for this day, let us focus our reflection on one particular gift, the gift of understanding. In our first reading, we have heard how the disciples were understood in their own native language by the listeners who were outside their place. Siguro kung sa atin, kung sa konteksto natin, ako na Tagalog nagsasalita at kung ikay Ilocano, maririnig mo ay Ilocano. O kung ikay Bisaya, maririnig mo Bisaya. Kung ikay Bicolano, maririnig mo Bicolano. Naiintindihan, naririnig yung salita na lumalabas sa kanilang sariling lengguwahe. That was how the disciples were understood by their first listeners. But understanding is not simply hearing the words that is being spoken by a particular person. Because the first meaning of understanding is to stand under. Tumatayo tayo sa ilalim o di kaya ay nagpapailalim tayo. Maybe it would be difficult for us to picture something like that. It seems that we would be submitting ourselves to someone who is on top of us. No. Why? Because we just literally put ourselves in that particular situation. To stand under would simply mean putting ourselves in the shoes of that particular person. Secondly, understanding is always a two-way relationship. Hindi ho pwedeng isang tao o isang partido lang yung umuunawa. Understanding is a two-way street. It doesn't mean that only one person should stand under. Hindi pwedeng isa lang yung nagpapailalim. Dahil kung isa lang yung nagpapailalim, hindi rin mabubuo yung pagkakaunawaan. If another person understands us, but we fail to put ourselves or to understand the other, then we will be disconnected from the reality. We will never be in touch with the reality of the other person. Kaya nga minsan ang reklamo natin, may mga batas na out of touch sa realidad ng buhay. May mga iniuutos na para bang hindi natin maintindihan, hindi natin maunawaan dahil hindi konektado sa realidad natin. Hindi nauunawaan o hindi nararanasan. O minsan, kahit sa aming mga pari, ang reklamo nila, si Father hindi ko maintindihan. Out of touch. Wala sa realidad. Nakalutang. But let us be reminded that the third glorious mystery says, the descent of the Holy Spirit. That was the action of the Holy Spirit. It simply means that the gift of understanding helps us ground ourselves to the reality of the other person. Hindi nakalutang ang pag-unawa dahil kinokonekta natin yung ating sarili sa sitwasyon ng ating kapwa. Understanding simply means standing under the situation of the other. And understanding will always be a two-way relationship. Halimbawa, kung may lumapit sa atin at humihingi ng tulong at naunawaan naman natin yung sitwasyon niya at naipaabot natin yung tulong na maipaabot natin, naunawaan natin yung sitwasyon nila. Pero minsan, mabigat din na marinig mula sa kanila, ito lang yung ibibigay mo, ito lang yung itutulong mo, ito lang yung ipapaabot mo, para bang hindi rin tayo naunawaan sa sitwasyon natin. Hindi rin naunawaan kung ano yung pinagdadaanan natin. Hindi rin naunawaan kung ano yung pinanggagalingan natin. Understanding connects us to the reality of our brother or sister. And when we understand one another, then we can expect peace in our relationships, harmony in our connections. That was what Jesus showed to his disciples. His first words to them were, "Peace be with you." That is the only thing that Jesus offers them. And that is the only thing that Jesus wants them to offer to others. Kaya siguro mailap din sa atin ng kapayapaan dahil kulang pa tayo sa pag-unawa. Yes, understanding may be a gift of the Holy Spirit, but when selfishness gets in the way, we tend to do away with what we understand. Because to stand under would entail a lot of humility. Misunderstanding happens because we insist on what we want. We insist on what we think is right, but neglecting what would be beneficial for the other. Misunderstanding happens because we insist on the knowledge that we have gained, yet we do not acknowledge that there are others who are more knowledgeable than us. Misunderstanding happens because we let pride dictate our actions. And we fail to stand under the situation of others. This Pentecost Sunday, let us recapture that gift of the Holy Spirit has given us. The gift of understanding. Huwag lang nating unawain yung naririnig nating mga salita. Unawain din natin yung sitwasyon ng bawat isa. At kapag naunawaan natin ang bawat isa, alam din natin kung anong ikikilos natin para mas tumibay yung ugnayan natin bilang isang simbahan. Understanding does not simply allow us to look at the situation of the other, but it harmonizes our relationship as a church. And in that harmony, we will be able to act appropriately as one church established by Jesus.